Welcome to the Leverage Show. Get more from your business and your life. Be sure to share your business questions and challenges with me at leverageshow.com, and I'll answer them on future episodes. So today, I want to share with you the 3 biggest outsourcing mistakes people make and how to avoid them. You know, outsourcing is a really important thing for your business. Whether you're hiring employees or whether you're just getting freelancers to come in and do some work for you, it's an invaluable way to be able to grow and leverage your business without having all the overhead of, permanent full-time employees. But the problem with outsourcing, in talking to a lot of other business owners, people that have tried to do this, there are some absolute nightmares because they make some mistakes that then cause the situation to be worse than it was if they just didn't hire the person in the first place. And, it's very alluring, the idea that you can just sort of get a few people to do these different jobs and then all of a sudden offload all of that. And it's particularly attractive if you're somebody who's already feeling overworked, already feeling overwhelmed, you have too many things to do in the day, not enough hours. Once you sort of get bitten by that outsourcing bug, it makes you want to just go crazy with it. But, let's scale it back, let's rewind it a little bit, and let's talk about how to do this the right way. Because if you do this the right way and you avoid these mistakes, then you can actually build your business really quickly, much faster than you'd be able to do it on your own. And you can do it painlessly also, without all the heartaches, headaches, and wasted money and time that some people experience because they make these mistakes. So the first mistake is probably the most common, and that is not having a clear job description. It doesn't matter whether this is somebody who's coming in to do a small job for you, you're hiring them online, whatever, and the expectation is that they're going to knock this out in 48 hours. Or if this is somebody that you're hiring as a virtual admin that's going to work for you for the next 3 years. You need to put some time into really thinking about what you want them to do. What happens a lot of times is we start to think that, well, geez, this isn't a permanent employee, so I don't need all the formality. I don't need to think it through. I'll figure it out when they get here. I know that I want them to do this, this, and this. So once I hire somebody, I'll give them the job description and I'll tell them exactly what I need and everything will be fine. But, that causes a lot of problems because invariably what happens is the person comes in, they don't have a clear idea of what's expected. So you sort of throw a couple of ideas at them and then they start to do it. But you didn't really speak clearly about what it was that your expectations were. So their idea and your idea are different. And on top of that, you may not even know exactly what you want them to do. So you have a general idea of what area you want them to offload for you. But then when they get on board, you don't really have, a task list or anything like that. And so what that's going to do is it's going to cause you to waste a lot of money. It's going to cause you to waste a lot of time. And also, it's going to drive away good freelancers. This is something that a lot of people don't think about as a consequence, but the problem is the only people that are going to work for you under those conditions are people that aren't really interested in working. They just want the paycheck. They're happy to sit around while you fumble around and figure out what you need to give them for work. But somebody who's good at what they do and wants to be productive is going to leave. They're going to say, this is too disorganized. I'm going somewhere where I can get a clear idea of what I can do to help and do it so I can actually be productive and helpful. So you want to write out a clear job description. It doesn't have to be 8 pages long, but you at least want bullet points of all the different tasks. And you want to make sure that it's clear and then it matches the workload that you're saying. If you're saying I need somebody 10 hours a week, but then you look at your bulleted list and you're like, oh, I can knock this out in an hour. Well, maybe you don't need somebody 10 hours a week, or maybe you could add other stuff. Or the reverse, I need somebody 10 hours a week. You start listing all the stuff out and then you realize, well, geez, this is actually more like 30 hours a week. So it's going to help you down the road to not have a bad idea about the performance either, because if your expectations are not realistic, you're not going to get realistic results. So get a clear job description. Spend a half an hour. Sit down and actually write it out so you're clear on what you want. And if you do it digitally, you can reuse it over and over. So that's the best way to do it. The second biggest mistake in outsourcing that people make is they wait until it's urgent. The sky is falling. I've got 800 projects to do. Now this force is pulling on me. This guy needs my help. She needs me to go over there and give her advice. I got the marketing thing I've got to set up for the next meeting. I've got this new product development thing I've got to do. I'm just overwhelmed. So I got to just get somebody and get them now. That is the biggest mistake, because what happens is your quality control is not very good. You're going to hire who's ever right now instead of who's ever right. What you want to do is be proactive. Now, you don't need to actually make the hire before you're ready, but you need the job description created, right? You need the job posted so you can start to get some candidates and go through the process. Expect it to take you, for a very small project, a couple of days. For a larger project, a week, maybe longer, because you want to really vet the candidates. It's far more expensive to have to get rid of somebody that you've already hired, even though they're outsourcers, and replace them with somebody else that then you need to train and go through all the same steps with again. So you want to do this proactively. Don't wait until it's so late that, literally the sky has fallen in and there's nothing else that you can do and you're forced into it. Be a little bit more proactive than that. Give stuff away along the way to allow yourself to have more bandwidth before you're completely overwhelmed. And if you are completely overwhelmed already and it's too late, table the things that are secondarily less important, because this is that vital. If you do this right and you get the right person in, they will make your life so much easier. So if you are already overwhelmed, even still, make it your top priority. Spend the time, vet the candidates, and make sure that you get the right person for the job. That will save you a ton of headaches down the road. So the third biggest outsourcing mistake is assuming once you've hired somebody, they're just going to figure it out. Look, I said I need a graphic designer. I need a logo. I need, a header graphic for this. I need, these 4 or 5 icons. Boom, go to it. See you later. You give them sort of whatever minimal information, your contact info, and you set them loose. That is another big mistake, because they're not going to be able to figure everything out for themselves. Put yourself in their shoes. If you were starting in a brand new company and you walked in and your boss said, here's your chair, here's your computer, I'll see you on Friday afternoon. You wouldn't have any idea what you're supposed to be doing. You would try. Now, graphic design is actually a pretty specific thing. So sure, they could come up with some mock-ups for you, but they don't have any idea of what your branding is like. They don't know what your image is all about, what type of relationship you have with your customers or how they view you, where your standing is in the marketplace, color schemes that you've got on your existing website or advertising. They don't know any of that stuff. So share with them some information, invest in them a little bit to give them the tools they need to be successful. Give them the answers to the test so then they can go and knock it out of the park for you. Now, the graphic design is actually one of the easier ones. Imagine if you're an admin. Well, yeah, I need you to process my emails and do my calendar, but they don't know what things to prioritize on your calendar. They don't know if 5 people come to you requesting meetings, who's most important. They don't know that, for emails from these 10 people, you need to see immediately. From everybody else, it can go in a later folder. Those things are going to be things that the only way they're going to learn is for you to sit down and help them out. It's very important that you are available for open communication, particularly in the first couple days with any new outsourcer. But also, you want to give them a little bit of information, logins for anything that they need, and sort of benchmarks or skeletal structure of what you're looking for. These are the performance metrics. These are our standards. These are samples of what's been done in the past. These are examples of, we haven't done it before, but these are, logos I like, or these are email marketing pieces I was impressed by. So when you're making your email marketing campaign, lean on these. You know what I mean? Our image, we're a super premium brand. So it's important that everything is or we're the low cost leader in the market space. We have quirky sort of image. So you don't need to be professional. It's more appropriate to be playful and have fun and edgy with this stuff. All of these things make a big difference. They're second nature to you because it's your company. But to anybody coming on, treat them like more than just a hired gun, and you'll get more than that in return. If you invest in them, you'll get better results, and you will be happier about it as well. Those are the three biggest outsourcing mistakes for sure. Now, there are other ones as well. But if you solve those three, if you create clear job descriptions, if you are a little proactive instead of waiting to the last minute, and if you really sort of coddle them in the beginning and give them a lot of personal attention and information that they need over those first couple of days, then what you'll find is a lot of the people, you could just set them loose. And you just give them the deliverables and you tell them, come to me if you have any questions. But document any answers I give you so you don't have to come back to me for the same thing again and again. And that is a great way to build an autonomous outsourcing team that can do a lot for you, make your life a lot easier, and help you grow your business faster than just about any other way. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And if you have a question, post it at leverageshow.com so I can answer it for you on a future episode. And until next time, make it happen.